Let me be clear. I am not here to discuss whether Dominic Cummings drove too far to test his eyesight or was wrong to allow his 4-year-old son to have a toilet stop. Those matters have been poured over in the most invasive and over-the-top manner by a baying mob that epitomises everything that is wrong with our depressing cancel culture. In a free country, it is up to every individual to interpret the draconian lockdown regulations responsibly and in a way that does not threaten public health or break the law. I despair that we've become a nation of politically motivated snitches. But I do accept that Dominic Cummings helped make the rules and is answerable for his actions. However, to say the hysteria over the past 3 days is about hypocrisy rather than Brexit ideology is completely naive. Make no mistake, the establishment is out to get Dominic Cummings. It has been out to get him since the moment he succeeded in doing what they all believed was impossible, taking the UK out of the EU. The tweet. Did you hear about this tweet? It was from the official UK civil service account and it read, "Can you imagine having to work with these truth twisters?" Just one representation of what this man is up against. And what about the BBC? What about his enemies at the BBC? Well, finally, we have proof of what they really think. And it has come from one of their radio stations. One of their radio stations where a presenter was caught on hot mic. Now, what that means is the presenter is in the studio in front of the microphone, but the newsreader is talking and they believe the microphone was turned off. Now, during this news bulletin, this BBC presenter called Nuala McKeever actually described Dominic Cummings by a naughty word. She called him the D word, and I have to apologise actually because I used that real word just chatting then with Ian Collins. But we're going to bleep it out here. But just have a listen. This is what BBC presenters really think about Dominic Cummings when they think you're not listening.
Boris Johnson said it was
I was
legitimate
thinking he was
to
such
make
a
the
I have written his name
reasons.
as Richard
The
Cummings.
Sun's political
Freudian
editor Tom
slip or what?
Newton-Dunn says the decision for Mr Cummings to make a statement is an admission by Downing Street that the row isn't going away.
Freudian slip or what? Well, actually, you've just been exposed. The BBC has just been exposed for being totally against Dominic Cummings, just like that tweet exposed the UK civil service. Now, just like when they unsuccessfully attempted to overturn the biggest Democratic vote in our history, the opposition believe this is a political opportunity, despite insisting they would not attempt to politicise a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. Last night it emerged that the opposition parties, including the SNP, the Lib Dems, the DUP, Plaid Cymru, SDLP, the Greens and the Alliance Party, are planning to band together to discuss the next steps in holding Boris Johnson and Dominic Cummings to account. That approach didn't work over Brexit. It will not work now. Let's bring some reality to this discussion as well. The idea that the entire country is talking about this assistant to the Prime Minister is one perpetuated by the media, and I do not believe it for 1 second. Most folk are rightly concerned about their health, concerned about when they'll see their relatives next, concerned about keeping their jobs, concerned about their savings, and concerned about their futures. That is what matters right now, not whether Dominic Cummings took a toilet stop on a drive. I will say it, The Guardian and the Daily Mirror did some brilliant reporting on day one of this scandal. It was a legitimate story in the public interest, but they have let themselves down since then. Their false reporting that Cummings had returned to Durham after going back to work at number 10 Downing Street was based on one witness who wouldn't even go on the record. And guess what? It was wrong. Fundamentally, that fake news undermines their claim that this isn't a politically motivated witch hunt. I was also horrified by Labour's Emily Thornberry, who congratulated her constituents for throwing a volley of abuse at Cummings as he walked to his house. And she probably no doubt supported the utter cretins who chucked eggs at his car too. That's not the country I think we should be. We need to stand for tolerance and respectful debate, no matter what your political views. The days of pitchfork-style protests driving good people out of their positions for so-called outrages driven by social media and the liberal media has to end. That's why Boris Johnson needs to ignore the ongoing noise and focus on the most important moment of his career, pulling us out of this devastating health emergency and unprecedented economic crisis. He will do that more successfully with Dominic Cummings by his side. So I want to hear from you on this today. Do you believe the opposition, civil service and liberal media want Dominic Cummings out of his job because of his success over Brexit?